Hello everybody, hello startup community. Welcome to our first trending talk in English. Today we are going to talk about chatbots, artificial intelligence, and if Vienna is becoming a major hub in the bot technology economy. In 2016 we have seen a big hype around chatbots, and today we want to talk about how 2017 is going. Where are we right now? Today I want to welcome three experts in the Austrian chatbot economy. Nathalie Korotaeva, you are user experience engineer at Kraftwerks, and you are the new lead developer of the Facebook developer circle in Vienna. Max Unger, you are a managing director of Elevate. This is the chatbot accelerator of the Venturi in Vienna. And David Pixenmeister, you are co-founder of the Viennese startup Oratio, which is working on a platform for messaging apps. My first question is for you, Nathalie. As I said, you are the new developer lead of the Facebook developer lead circle. So can you tell the viewers a little bit of what is it? How can people participate in the developer circle, and what do you think what will be the outcome of this program?
Mm-hmm. Hi everyone, thank you so much doing it in English. I think the reason is me. Yes, I'm a lead for Facebook Developer Circle here in Vienna, and together with colleague Barbara, we're gonna organize meetups, workshops and hackathons, developing different communities here, and the goal for this is actually to build an IT community here in Vienna to provide a place when everyone could come who is interested in IT topics, not only developers. So, and we provide the materials and resources for this. So outcome of it, I think it's actually to have a strong IT community here in Vienna, so we can exchange our ideas, explore not only Facebook platform, but everything that interested us in regarding IT.
Great, thanks. Max, as I said, you are the managing director of Elevate, the chatbot accelerator of the Venturi in Vienna. Can you tell us a little bit what happened so far? As I understand, you brought a lot of international chatbot startups to Vienna. What is happening? What is going on right now?
Yeah, first, thanks for having me. When we started Elevate in March of this year, we received around 40 applications from 70 nations. So we had to first go through all of them, and then we decided for 4 teams. One team is out of Bangalore, India. One team is from Munich, and 2 teams are from Vienna, actually. Elevate is a 6-month structured program, going from an early stage startups, first prototype to product market fit within 6 months. So we did a lot of product validation. We worked on hypothesis. We worked on the business models together with them. We even found companies within these 6 months. And the whole program will end this Friday in our demo day.
All right, great. And David, you are, as I said, one of the co-founders of Oratio. You are working on a messaging platform, and recently you have introduced a new feature called Automate.
No official APIs from Facebook Messenger, no official APIs from Telegram. And we started building actually an interface that businesses can communicate with their customers on messengers. And after some time, now after 2 years, also through the bot hype, we figured that many companies, especially small or medium-sized companies, they have the problem that many customers, they ask the same questions, and also they're gonna expect a reply or response from a business in time, especially on messengers, because the messengers are fast. And I mean, if you, for example, send an email, it's usual to wait 12 hours, 2 or 3 days for a business to respond. But on messages, you need to act fast. And many small or medium-sized businesses didn't have the opportunity to do that. So we introduced Automate, which gives you the possibility to have smart rules or smart intelligence, which can take care of answering these questions automatically. And since not all of these questions can be answered automatically, there's always a human fallback. So if the customer doesn't come to a conclusion or it can't be solved through our AI, then the the conversation is passed to human agents. So it's kind of a hybrid system between an AI and human agents.
All right. Approximately 1 year ago, or it's more than a year ago, I remember very well when Mark Zuckerberg took the stage in San Francisco at the F8 conference, and he kind of said that, bots will be the new apps. Now, more than 1 year later, what do you think about it? Are bots like really mainstream, or was it more kind of a hype? Who wants to answer the question? Natalie, what do you think about it?
I think you said it right about the bots and new apps. That's why we see the same situation that's happening with apps in the beginning. So everyone was super hyped about apps, and each even small company would like to have their own app. That's why when this situation happened with chatbots, I think it's quite normal that every company thinks and explores this idea if they really need or want to have a chatbot. That's why in the beginning that we've seen that a lot of companies and a lot of startups started to develop chatbots. So, and actually there's like two sides. Obviously it's good to see a lot of things going on the market, a lot of chatbots happening, but also the downside of it, that the quality of this product and the expectation of this product is quite high as well. So I think that the guys agree that in the beginning it's always like that, but I think we will also see some positive changes after it. What do you think?
Yeah, I also think when apps were introduced to the market first, it was the same basically. So people tried to adapt websites into apps and just like replicate them, and that's what happened at the start with chatbots as well. But I think there's so much more in this new interface. Basically, I think people start leveraging the conversational interface more and more, and I think the consumers also start to understand the interface more and more, and I think this is what will lead us to, it's not going to be a hype but a trend at the end of the day.
David, what do you think? Do customers expect too much right now of chatbots? Are the expectations too high?
I mean, that's really hard to say. Definitely the expectation is too high, but first of all, I think we need to differentiate between what happened. They're not only a hype around bots, there's also a hype around AI and conversational interfaces. So on the one hand, we have like bots, which are basically just, let's say, small reduced app which live within messengers. There's not even AI needed or a conversational interface for that. Then we have some kind of conversational interfaces, which means we have a program which interacts through human language. For example, we have that in Siri, we have that in Alexa, we have that in Microsoft Cardano. And then we have like some kind of canonical interfaces, like the messenger itself, where you have some kind of a hybrid within a conversational interface and like an app-like structure. And especially when you talk about conversational interfaces or virtual assistants, then definitely the expectation is really, really high from users, because we know like all this AI stuff from movies. We think, especially it's also historical, because like the only smart entities which exist are humans, and humans are smart. And if it speaks, we expect it to be smart, and we're definitely not there yet. And that's why the expectation is really high, and most of the companies need to do like better expectation management.
So users right now mainly interact with chatbots in messaging apps like Messenger. What do you think? You just mentioned Alexa or Siri. There are a bunch of AI assistants out there. Will they be the bigger platform for chatbots?
I mean, we also have to take a note here on the geographic situation, because we are living like in Europe. We are a first world country, same as the US. And if you take a look at emerging markets, South America, Africa, they're mobile first. So they're like, it's way more likely that they're going to use an app, a bot, because they're used to it. For example, if you see like the country with the highest mobile banking, that's Uganda, because they don't have the infrastructure for that, and they use it through SMS. So for them, it's typically normal to use, like, let's say, a bot through their mobile phones. And we also see a lot of interest from Southeast Asia, from Africa, from South America. And for us, like especially like in Europe and the US, the need is not that high to use a bot, because we're still like more a desktop first nation. As for the conversational interfaces, especially Alexa, I think they have a really, really high potential, especially when you think of having them at home, talking to them, and don't need your hands to communicate with them. And I think the platform has even higher variety if you think of wearables like smartwatches, smart glasses, or, as you said, Alexa, because there's like one common interface which they can all implement, and that's voice.
Also, in addition to that, I think it really depends on the certain use case. So, for example, we are currently working on voice integration for ordering a cab. You just like sit in your living room and say, Alexa, order me a cab. I think this is a perfect use case example for something very comfortable for the user, and this will be the examples we'll see in the next month, I think. But after this, I totally agree with David.
So all of you, or especially the both of you two, you work a lot with startups who are developing chatbots, and startups have to do business. What do you think? What are the most interesting, the best business models around chatbots? Have you seen any special new business models that are evolving around chatbots?
Just to mention one example, I think to leverage the full potential of the chatbot platform, you need to receive user feedback. You need to look deeply into what the user is telling the bot actually, and you can extract information out of that. So I think one of the most interesting business models that I've seen within the last month was a data insight platform, like really dig deep into the community. On the one hand, on a qualitative basis, like really look into the feedbacks and work with the users, and on the other hand on KPI basis, basically. So it's like a second layer to the typical analytics platforms we know, for example.
Okay, so data. Is this also the business models that you are seeing?
If you talk about chatbot startups, I think the same rules you can apply for all startups and chatbot startups as well. So before you start to develop your business model, you need to have really strong use case. And what I've seen so far, a lot of startups, they think first about business model. Of course, it's right, you need to make money, but the strong use case, it's more important. For me, one of the best examples so far, I've seen it's a chatbot and it's a bank. It's called TalkABot. So the whole bank system implemented in a chatbot. So people can use it, and it's a very strong use case. Of course, they have a lot of obstacles regarding like privacy, regarding how it works with payments and so on. But the market is new, so you need to explore. And data, of course, you can use it, and for your business model as well. Just I think we can discuss it later regarding like privacy, how we can use it because it's a very sensitive topic. And I think in the future we will see more startups with really good use cases, and then you actually can develop different kind of business model for this.
Now comes the tricky question. You just mentioned privacy, data protection. As far as I understand, if you're running a messenger chatbot, you can get a lot of personal user data like name, age, gender, location, and so on. Next year in the European Union, there will be the new data protection rules. So what do you think? Will startups, businesses be able to run chatbots the same way they do now? It's a tricky question. Who wants to answer it?
I mean, I'm definitely not a lawyer, and I haven't looked deeply into the new law, because I hope we will be an US entity by the time the laws apply to us. But I think, I mean, as far as I understood, is like it depends on where do you store like this specific user data. And this is probably something Facebook needs to take care of, because basically it's stored on Facebook sites. And for the European countries, they just need to make sure that they store their data on European servers. That's how far I understood that.
Also, while working with the Venturi also on agency models and working together with large corporates, we have this topic quite often, obviously, and there are ways to avoid that. For example, sensitive information goes directly through Facebook via implementing web views, for example, where you can ask the user for personalized data or sensitive data, and it will be stored, as David said, without the knowledge of Facebook.
All right. Okay. So a lot of work to do on the side of data protection, of course. There's also a lot of work to do for the ecosystem in Vienna. What do you think? A lot of people say that Vienna can become a hotspot for bot technology. Are we there right now, or do we have to do a lot of more work to become the European hotspot for chatbots? What do you think?
I think one is a good example that actually the Facebook Developers Circle come to Vienna, one of the first European cities, because we have also strong chatbot community here. So I think it shows how ecosystem is developing. But of course, because we started altogether, I think 1.5 years ago or something, that's why there's a lot of things we can do, and I'm really glad to see how it's growing, that a lot of people participating in this, and that was organized like bot hackathon, also organized like chatbot conference, that David of course will mention it, and the Facebook Developer Circle, and Accelerator, Incubator Lemmings, and Bot Bar Camp. I hope I didn't forget anything, but you can see that these examples, it's not so many cities can demonstrate this. And also I think it's a good way that actually the state invests some money to this as well. So I hope that despite this hype about chatbots will be over, we will have a strong community and will develop this trend more and further.
In a few weeks, there will be the chatbot conference in Vienna. David, you're one of the organizers. Can you tell us a little about what can visitors expect there?
Yeah, sure. I mean, last year we did the first conference, and we had around 400 people there, and this year we're doing our second edition. And what people can expect is basically a deep dive into chatbots, messaging networks, but also AI and conversational interfaces. We had this year great luck to attract a lot of big companies to be part of the conference. So we will have Facebook Messenger, Twitter, Slack, Viber, Google will be there again. But we also have like great chatbot startups like Poncho or JetFuel. And it's really going to be a deep dive on messaging and chatbots.
All right, and at the Elevate Accelerator, you have, as far as I understand, the first batch of startups here. When can startups apply for the second batch?
So applications are open in the moment we talk until the 22nd of September, and the next batch starts end of November. And we have our demo day on Friday, which will be broadcasted via Lifestream to all the people out there who can't be present at the venue but still want to follow the event.
All right, great. So there are a lot of events coming up that people who are interested in chatbots can attend. Nathalie, Max, David, thanks for coming. I enjoyed talking with you. And yeah, let's see how the chatbot ecosystem in Vienna will evolve over the next time. Thanks for watching, and see you soon again. Goodbye.